What's up, everyone? It's Teddy, aka JamesKisau and MTGO. I'm very happy to report we did it! We hit 2,000 subs! Thank you, everyone, so much for the support. It really means a lot to me. I did not think the channel would get this far, but I'm extremely happy that it has. I'm very happy to make this content every week for everyone, and I'm very especially grateful to my Patreon subscribers that really gave me the extra motivation to put a lot more into the channel. Things like more than one video every week, more than two video every week. Well, three if you're on the Patreon. It's the kind of actionable response that tells me that people actually do care a lot about A, Grixis Control, B, Legacy, C, me, I guess, if I can say that. Uh, I'm extremely grateful, and I'm hoping that the channel just grows from here and we can introduce more people to playing what you want in Magic, even though it might be conventional wisdom that you should be playing meta decks if you're trying to win. I do believe that Magic, and Legacy in particular, is a deep enough format to support creativity and playing and a lot of personal choices. So I said 2,000 subs, we're getting an intro. Without further ado, I would like to present to all of you the JamesKisau intro. Just kidding. That was not the real one. I have been canvassing on Magic circles in Twitter, Reddit, Discord, looking for animators. They're very difficult to find, and I certainly want to employ an animator, an actual one, to do that. So there's the storyboard essentially, if that looks fun to you and you are an animator yourself or you know one, contact me. I'd love to commission something. So yeah, nothing yet, but we're getting there. Let's move on to the deck list. So on the Discord recently, there was a rather heated discussion about applying geometric calculators to the Grixis Control mana base. It was the closest things have ever come to needing moderation on the JamesKisau Discord, I would say. I'm 98% kidding. I've been blessed with a very reasonable and mature fan base, so thank you everyone for respectfully argumenting. All that said, it was pretty intense to have to explain how applying science to Grixis Control in the past has been very frustrating since, first of all, there's a lot of one-ofs in the deck, which is not normal for Legacy. There are a lot of cards that do specific things in a lot of specific situations. Cards that are great in some matchups and not so great in others. And beyond that, it's a deck that is almost entirely about navigation. We're not really looking for a specific sequence of cards to win or play any kind of a linear game plan. So for all those reasons and many more, applying science to Grixis Control in the past has been pretty frustrating, but that has not stopped some of the members of the Discord, and they were asking like, oh, if Basic Mountain is so bad, but obviously necessary to make the deck resilient, and Basic Island is better than Basic Swamp, why would you play 3 Bloodstained Mires over Scalding Tarn? And I tried to explain it the best I could. I was saying like, oh, it's think of it as like the analog to the 2 Badlands, 1 Volcanic Island split. It's the same idea there. Since you're way more likely to have a basic island than any other of the basics, you want to branch out with your auxiliary colors, and Badlands is the perfect lane to do that. I guess it kind of stemmed from a discussion over why 2 Badlands and only 1 Volcanic Island. And the fact of the matter is, if we could play more polluted deltas, we just would. And then probably, yeah, 2 Myers and 2 Scalding Tarns. I think it was at that point that an argument or a solution was put forward that I think satisfied both sides to some extent, and that was playing 1 Prismatic Vista instead of the 3rd Bloodstained Mire. And I think everyone was pretty happy after that. So this week in the video, we're not doing too much quest for the 60th card anyways. Next week, yeah, by this time next week when this video comes out on Friday, I'll be at Eternal Weekend. So this is the last Grixis Control Friday main series video before Eternal Weekend. There will be one that comes out next Friday, but it is recorded in advance. I guess that would be the one. I think that'll be a good time for the Spider-Man one because I don't want to like put my list on blast that day. Not that I think many people will be watching it that day that are also competing in the tournament. I don't know. There's just little things you do to give yourself every edge, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I guess that week is a good week for Spider-Man. So yeah, this will be the last one. I'm locked in pretty much, I think. After all I just said about not showing off my deck list, I'm saying, hey everyone, I'm locked in on this Murktide Regent, and then we're just gonna go over to the mana base and yeah, swap one Bloodstained Mire for one Prismatic Vista. See how we do. Okay, cool. Grixis Control news around the web. I was recently on an episode of the Legacy Small Talk podcast. A lot of great players on there. Geodude Jared was unfortunately not available for that record, but in company still was Romario Vidal, who has an excellent channel. I'll link it below. And then Mike Eureka 22422, insane player, probably the most cracked blue-black reanimator player grinding on MTGO right now, possibly. And I have great respect for both of those players, and I think we had a very interesting discussion. So check out that episode. I'll link it down below in the description. And yeah, let's jump into this last serious league before Eternal Weekend. Next week will be Spider-Man. I just decided that right now. Seems like a good idea. And yeah, check out the Patreon if you want more content every week. And I've also noticed more YouTube members, which is really nice. And the same feed is going up on YouTube membership. So yeah. Okay, let's get in there. All right, we're on the play with a pretty rough hand, but we're just going to see what our opponent is on here. They're keeping 7. We have a Force of Will, and they play a Taiga. It's not a common card in Legacy. Bad draw. I'm thinking they're probably playing Storm. I think Storm is the most common Taiga deck, but it's a pretty strange thing to do and just pass the turn. Alright, I could really use a land or a playable card, please. Holy shit. This is hilarious. Underground Mortuary. I mean, that card's also in Storm, but it does seem kind of strange. Chromox. I think we're dealing with a Storm deck here. If they're playing Spider-Punk, we do have Lightning Bolt. That Thoughtseize is gonna hurt. They'll see my hand is like having major malfunction. Big Force of Will. We might get echoed here. Expecting this to be gamble. Yep. They discard Veil of Summer. Now they're passing the turn? What does this mean? Incredibly suspicious. Bowmasters. Well, I hope they need that Veil of Summer. A Lotus Petal. Chromox. What's under there? Beseech the Mirror. They're still a little short on black to cast that. They need one more, which shouldn't be hard for them to do, to be fair. They gambled and probably didn't discard what they gambled for, but we'll see. If they Dark Ritual, we've probably lost, because I don't think they would put Beseech the Mirror under Chromox unless they had another one if they have a Dark Ritual. Song of Creation. Well, hopefully Bolt plus Bowmasters can finish this before they find Veil of Summer. Play Bowmasters. They don't need to draw that many cards to win is the issue. But we'll see what happens. They rarely fizzle. Good top deck. That was okay. I think you'll be fine, though. They did have Dark Ritual. That's wild. Alright. They only need to draw 9 more cards and then I can bolt them. Terrible. Burning Wish, yeah, that should do it. They can just Tendrils to stay alive even if they really want to. Well, they don't have any mana is the thing. They need mana. Where does mana come from? Incredible. It worked out that time at least, I will say. There's a lot of the times where Song of Creation just Shreds through Bowmasters. Oh, they had a Veil in hand. Arg. Funny game, this Magic. Okay. So, I think I'll take Meltdown. Chromox is kind of the line where, like, most Storm decks will not play into Meltdown since they're holding their artifact mana to generate Storm. But Chromox is something that they will sit and play. I'm pretty uncertain about Red Blast, although beating Song of Creation is kind of what sells me on Red Blast a lot of the time. And I wonder if they're playing Spider-Punk. I can't remember the Universes Within name for it. It's not Garza. It's something like that, though. Baragoi and Tameo. These are our new outs for Empty Warrens. So those will stay. Edict is bad. I want this Thoughtseize. I want Opposition Agent. I feel like I need to keep the Mountain now, too, because of Prismatic Vista. That's something that I forgot to mention, is that sometimes you side out a land in certain matchups. I'm going to cut Strix, too, I guess. One Kaito, and then... We can't keep all these bolts. We just can't. But I think a lot of people are trying to storm out for the, Spider-Punk. So that's where my money goes. This hand is not good. Sure. I'll try it. Keep and bottom a Thoughtseize. How about Brazen Borrower? Even if they go Chalice on one, I have a Meltdown. Oh shit. Okay. Can I afford to Thoughtseize, the real question? I feel like no. I could just melt for 0. That would be funny adjacent. I could also ponder. I could hold up Consign to Memory. Geez. I'm gonna ponder, since there are a lot of good outcomes for that, like land or Force of Will. Oh geez, it's not a red source though. I don't think I can afford to be locked into this. I'm gonna shuffle. Okay, cool. I knew it would work, and now I have the benefit of looking like my hand is weak. I mulliganed, I shuffled off Ponder. They might just jam. And as long as they don't have protection, that's fine by me. Carpet of Flowers is totally fine. I don't try to fight Storm's mana. Alright, how about a land? Ooh, not good. Thoughtseize you. Take Beseech the Mirror. Pass the turn. They drew Tega. Alright, it's not too late to draw lands, you know? I guess I would accept cantrips too. Beautiful. Thoughtseize again. Take Dark Ritual. It's better at casting Beseech. Commercial District. Consign to Memory. Just kidding. Yeah, I probably don't want that bad lands. Declining Carpet. Playing LED. Casting Gamble. Yep. They discarded Beseiju. Runehorn Hellkite. Can't do anything about that. Should have seen that coming. I can't draw into a consign either. This could be pretty wild. Nimble Obstructionist. We were just a little late. But it seems like their hand can... Well, no, they're just going to second main. They're going to get a bunch of mana. And probably win. Should have forced the gamble. I'm not used to that heuristic yet. Why didn't I force gamble? Well, if they have their Beseech... How many consigns can a Grixis player run? Well, 4, of course. They're gonna jam. Why would they stop now? I think it's correct to jam. I'm also F6'd, so... Giving a lot away here. Interesting that they are doing this, because they have Lethal Storm right now. That was a guy as well. We could just go to the next game. It's all good. Alright. I think Nile Spellbomb is a little soft. And we're definitely countering Gamble from now on. That was a huge punt. I don't think they're playing Spider-Punk. I don't need to play Bomb or Bolt, which means I can get Surgical and I guess Kaido. Yeah. Seems fine enough. Yep. Looking good, folks. Opponent takes a mulligan. And I guess I'm playing Volcanic Island on turn 1. Another weird thing is that sometimes they'll still get 2 cards off of Song of Creation into your Red Blast since, you know, Veil of Summer makes their spells uncounterable, but doesn't give them Hexproof from red. So you need to let the Song of Creation resolve and then point a Red Blast at it. It's pretty weird. So if I draw a land, I don't want to pitch Nimble Obstructionist. If I draw a blue card, I kind of do want to pitch Nimble Obstructionist so I can have double force, which is usually enough to win. We'll see. Send it back. Chromox. Black mana under there. Petal. Thought sees me. I have 2. So don't trip. Rude. Your deck was the rude one. Made you mold a 5. I don't really have a clock. Taking Kolaghan's command is fascinating. Is their last card Echo? Oh, that was a good draw. Jesus Christ. But if they draw a land and their last card's Runehorn Hellkite, I can't really do anything about that right now, but it seems like I'm safe. What do I draw? Brainstorm? Cast it. Nice. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like this. Hold up Consign. Melt for 0. Getting the GGs. I guess that's hard to come back from. An Echo. Good games well played, especially that second round. I completely boofed that. Runehorn Hellkite. I mean, it is a lot more. It's twice as expensive in most cases than Echo Aeons, but with Lion's Eye Diamond, that's rarely a problem. Black Lotus generates a lot of mana. Well, we're on the draw here with a pretty solid hand, especially if it's a similar matchup to last time. Got a Force of Will, got a Thoughtseize. Opponent kept 7 though, so more likely to be one of the fair decks of the format. Although maybe not, it's a Polluted Delta and a Lotus Petal. Mostly the Lotus Petal is giving unfair. Basic Island. Is this Show and Tell? Curie. I really don't want to have to deal with an Ophidian though. But if they have days to back this up, it's not good. I could treat the Lotus Petal as like them going down a card. I don't know. It's pretty bad if the force doesn't work. But then again, they draw even more cards. Should all else fail, I'm going to try to force this. Okay, it works. That's good. And I can play around Wasteland, I guess. Thoughtseize you. Got some Sagas. Take the Ponder. Seems like we're fighting Dreadnought with the Lotus Petal. Probably a 1 of Lotus Petal to get off versus Saga if you need a bump in mana. Not a bad draw for them. We need action. Real bad. Brainstorm kind of qualifies. I was hoping to bounce a Construct, but them getting clues is no good. I can't really ambush Tamio if they find white mana. If they don't, it's kind of whatever. I guess I'll concede them a clue token, but it's not great. But I'm glad I did that, because drawing Badlands next turn would have sucked. And then I guess I'll try and ambush Tamio next turn. So they played a Saga. They might not get the full 2 out of each, which is good, because we probably can't beat that, especially if they're making clue tokens. My hope is that they just brainstorm instead and forego constructs altogether. That would be nice. Negative. Strix? Well, that's even better. I mean, they'll probably find white mana sooner than later, but that's a good way to catch up on cards. Let's start with Brainstorm. Bowmasters is not awful. I'm not seeing a easy route to shuffling though. Maybe I should just hardcast this Lorien Revealed instead. I've got good stuff to do. It's just funny. We'll see how much of an emergency we're in. Play Strix. Draw Lorien Revealed. And if I absolutely have to, I could shuffle before my draw step. But we'll see. Yeah, they're going to make a construct. And hopefully they don't have another Lotus Petal. Although if they use that to plow my Strix, it's kind of like, I don't know. They went down a lot of cards to do this, but it's going to hurt. Tamiyo plus Saga, quite a combo, I will say. But this is wild. I'm shocked that they do not want to engage and try and win faster, but it's fine by me. I'm incredibly relieved, in fact. What do? Do I just draw the Underground Sea? I guess so. I think this is a draw 3 is going to be a lot better. Like if I Petty Theft Bowmasters this turn, cast Lorien Revealed next turn. Oh, I know what's going on. They want to make a construct. They didn't hit a land. So they're going to use the Lotus Petal to make a construct. That makes a lot more sense. Oh, they have Doorkeeper Thrall. Okay. Now they're going to get Phyrexian Dreadnought. So I guess I should bounce this Thrall. Well, let's get something else instead, but at least I won't have to deal with the 12/12. Not great. They're going to force? Wow. So their last card is Swords to Plowshares. Might as well get my ETB trigger. Can still draw. Oops, that was dumb. I don't get an ETB trigger. Should have done that before that resolved. Well, what can you do? Now these constructs are free to attack. I think I'm still blocking with Strix, because, like, if I'm not destroying Dreadnought, I don't think I'm winning anyways. So I think I need to draw, like, Kolaghan's Command or something like that, you know? Nope. They played a tight game there. Let's get FP. Meltdown, because they seem a lot more artifact forward with, like, Lotus Petal, and they might have other stuff too. I'll take Red Blast too. Never feels bad to hit Force of Will with that. And then what? Consign to Memory? Maybe. They might have Null Drifter. It kind of slots right into decks like these for little to no cost. I think Baraggoyf is pretty bad against Swords to Plowshares. Am I brave enough to side out a Force of Will? I don't know. I might not be. I can side out one Bolt. Doesn't have a huge amount of targets out of this deck. Against more traditional Stifle Knot builds, I don't normally bring in Meltdown, but it seems just fine here. Nimble, I think it's kind of the wrong side of the equation. On the play, I think I'm going to have to be brave enough to side out Force of Will, if not 2 copies. Instead, we'll just side out another card that's pretty soft to Swords. And given that they might still be a deck with Stifle, I think I'm going to keep all 19 lands here. I'm also on the play. That would be another reason to keep 19 lands. On the draw, maybe I'll step out of line a little bit. Why do I have this consigned, though? I feel like it doesn't answer the board enough. I'm not crazy about Thoughtseize either. On the draw, I'm definitely losing Thoughtseize. If there is a game 3. That will be the goal, of course. Alright. Let's take the play, huh? The double Meltdown hand. I mean, there's a lot of mobility in here. I'm going to keep. The real question is this deck playing Wasteland? And the fact that I don't have access to basic mountain anyhow makes me pretty comfortable to lead on Badlands here. Although maybe, oh, they do play Wasteland. What do you know? Flusterstorm, 2 Tamios. Well, I want them to play Tamio because I have a Red Blast. I don't want them to Wasteland me. So what if I just took one of the Brainstorms? Would they still Wasteland me? But I don't want them to think like, oh, they have a removal spell, that's why they didn't take Tamio. Ugh. Maybe because I sat and thought about it for long enough, they'll think I'm trying to level them. Yep. The obvious take was Tamio. Everybody knows that. And we'll just never learn our lesson. We're gonna get Volcanic Island here. Alright. They're giving up information. They're trying to play Tamio while dodging removal. But if they just hold up Fluster anyways, they can counter my Red Blast on the stack. I'm gonna Brainstorm. Might need all our mana available to pull this off. I hope they Fluster this. They don't. Force looking sad. Oh, we do have a blue card. Yeah, these meltdowns might be rather poor. We'll see. And that's why I'm not the biggest fan of Meltdown in this matchup. Now, next turn I gotta draw another Meltdown. And then hopefully Bowmasters could be a good draw. There's a lot of good draws. They're binning Dreadnoughts. Sad. Not what we were hoping for. Tundra. Lotus Petal. Tamio. So now they can Fluster and Brainstorm. I think I just need to wait for this to flip. So they can't avoid my Red Blast with Brainstorm. I could also push it by casting Meltdown to trade with Lotus Petal. Which, like, maybe we're not getting a better trade than that, you know? Ever think about that? I'd just rather hit a Clue as well. That would make me feel better. Yeah, just gotta let it go. The worst thing they can do is just pass, hold up Clue. And of course that's what they're gonna do. I guess that means I'm slamming Kaito, huh? Can't Flusterstorm that. No, you cannot. They'll Brainstorm in response. Puts an end to this Clue shenanigans. But they'll probably activate it at the end of turn, which is not good. It wouldn't even feel all that different if one of these Meltdowns was a blue card, just because Flusterstorm is pretty effective against Force of Will. As it should be, I guess. That transforms. That resolves. Fantastic. They have not lost life. It's plus. I wonder if they had Force, but were worried about me forcing back, because they would have had to pitch Flusterstorm, and then that means they would have gotten forced in return, and then, yeah, blah blah blah. I would have drawn a card. Now they're drawing a card. I was hoping to melt that down. Didn't get to do it. They're going to Brainstorm. I don't really know what outs they could have to Kaito. I guess Dress Down would work. Tamio pluses. They have another Tamio. Fortunately, I plussed with Kaito, so that's pretty sick, is it not? Again with the lands. It's fine. I'm curious if they're going to block or not. Well, if I'm just going to clear both Tamios, I should Red Blast this one and attack that one, but that's not really the plan. Okay, they're going to give me cards. I don't know if that's smart, but I'm glad they're doing it. Yep, load it up. Can't, what's it called? Fluster Narset. So why don't we do that? Play Narset. Nothing in their graveyard's very helpful. And yeah, if they're sitting on other cantrips, it's kind of lights out. It's kind of lights out. If that had resolved, I think I would have melted down and then red blasted the Planeswalker. And then they could have cast Daze. Daisy deck. The prophecies were correct. There will be a game 3. And I don't want this Thoughtseize. And I don't think they're playing Stifle. I think they can just play Tamiyo and not have to play a weaker card like Stifle. Although I'm sure Stifle has saved someone against Tamiyo's -7 before. I'd like to think it has. Maybe I'll take this Force of Will. I also got away with not showing the Meltdown. Pretty incredible if you think about it. I mean, I'm sure they could surmise that Meltdown's in there. It's 2 for 2 on Meltdown matchups, by the way. You don't really see that too often. 2 in a row. The Epic Gamble and Stifle Knot. I don't think this is Wall Street. I think I would have seen like an Ancient Tomb or a Torpor Orb by now, or a Null Drifter. This seems more like classic Blue-White Dreadnought. And is this just my deck? I think so. The Reanimate's pretty suspect, if I'm being honest. But they have some good creatures. Like Curie. Curie's great. I would reanimate Curie. Hand is not bad. Turn 1 Tamiyo would be on the annoying side, but also there's no real good way to play red cards if I draw any. And the deck is almost as red as it is black at this point. Look at all the black cards that come out. And like every red card from the sideboard comes in pretty much except price. But they're keeping 7. I could not abide losing resources for no reason like that. Okay, they don't have a Tamiyo on turn 1. That's a good thing. We're finding out that doing that on turn 1 in Legacy is a pretty solid way to win games. It's always funny when things boil down to that simple. They shuffle off their Ponder, they play a Lotus Petal. They have a lot of those, I think. Maybe the full play set, I'm not sure. Restricted in Vintage. Not a great draw. We'll see what we can pull together here. I don't think they're playing Stifle. So I'm not gonna like proactively get a swamp here. In fact, I'd rather just like not activate this at all to make it a little more likely to draw land. Okay. Hope it's not one of those games. Probably just play Bowmasters no matter what. Next turn though. Archive. I was hoping to see a Doorkeeper Thrall come in and then we could have a little bit of a blowout. Plains. Curie. Activate that. Wasteland would be so bad. And if I draw Red Blast, there's other things I can do, like just play more Bowmasters, for example. So sure. Let's just hopefully pray that we will be drawing an additional land before any red cards, because it is more likely. That's not good. Alright, well, what can you do? Not much. I'm prepared to fight. Play Bowmasters. Ping. I cannot believe that worked. I don't think it should have. They don't have swords? They do have swords. They just, I guess, didn't think Curie was worth much while there were Bowmasters on the field, which is fair. Is there any way we can do this? We're not developing. It's a problem. Clarion Conqueror, that one is fine. Turns off their Lotus Petal, so I don't need to worry about a Shieldred's Edict. I mean, hey, Flusterstorm in response to my Shieldred's Edict. Come on, deck. Hit for 3. I'm sure I'll draw land next turn. I didn't side any out even. One of those rare situations. Torrent Oculus. Yeah, I can't beat that. I guess Brazen Borrower is a fine removal spell in this case, so let's pitch Snapcaster Mage. It works. What's this? Prismatic Ending. Oh, that's fine. Alright, I could really use a land here. I want it more than anything. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, cast Brainstorm. Oh, what if they wasteland me? Put these Bowmasters on top, will mill over Red Blast. They might be, their last card might be Wasteland. If it is, I think we'll be okay, but part of me hopes that it isn't, because the game will end a little sooner. Clarion Conqueror. Yeah, I think that's okay. At least I really don't want to force it. Forcing this would be a little cuckoo. I think what I'd rather do is attack in, and then instead of casting the Bowmasters in combat, do it afterwards so I regenerate the army token and have two little things for Kaito. And if they don't bite on that, but I think they will because they're at 12, I guess I'll bounce it. Alright, attack. There's the block. Here's my boys. Ping there. Wonderful. 3 copies of Bowmasters is not bad. Yes, this is good. Pass it back. We've grounded this game out. We have one more card in hand than they do, and we're equal on lands. I guess that's how it works. I don't have to show them the threat. Alright. Couple scary games, right? Yeah. Or I guess I lost game 2 in the first match, but it was still scary. And now we're 2-0. Haven't really noticed any improved mana fluency. I don't think I've drawn the Prismatic Vista yet. Well, that's not true. But, you know, this is the kind of thing that reveals itself over hundreds of games. But, I mean, if this league goes well, and in my book, if you've taken down 2 matches, your deck is at the very least not impacted. I think we can call this experiment a success, and we'll keep going for match 3. Time for match 3, and it might be a tough one, since Tarksar 1990 usually plays Beanstalk decks, which are often capable of outgrinding Grixis Control. That said, I feel like on the channel recently there's been a couple Beanstalk matchups, and they've gone fairly well. There's definitely one last week, I remember, and that came down to, well, that wasn't really a Bowmasters game, I don't think. I think we did kind of outgrind them. I think it was tough. This hand is wackadoodle, but I'm going to keep it. Tameo Brainstorm, we're on the draw. Chroma, okay, wow, never mind. Forget me. I don't know anything that's going on. There's a Fatal Push under there, though, I want to point out. Okay, this seems like Opposition Agent. Well, how long are they going to hold out, you know? A while, it turns out. Herbor, okay, cool. There's my black mana. I love it. Would they be so kind to Entomb Reanimate right now and not play the One Ring? Oh. I should try to counter this. That would mean getting a basic island, which is not the biggest deal because the Urborg is out and will be until the end of time. I would just more want to get a mountain with this, since I have a lightning bolt and they're probably going to lose a lot of life. Can't be helped. I wish I could have gotten a non-basic though. Alright, they'll have a One Ring. This is going to get tough. I need to start pressuring their life total, but not with Snapcaster Mage, so it just has to be Strix. And then we'll hide these to the extent that you can hide things when you're trying Baleful Strix, which is you can't, so. I don't know what's going to happen this game. I think it's going to be difficult. But I can play around Wasteland and also have perfect mana. We do like Urborg. But yeah, they're just like drawing kind of a lot of cards. My hand's not particularly thought seizable. They might just take Lightning Bolt, I don't know. They've got 2 Ancient Tombs. If they want to cast something else large, they'd probably have to use them. Maybe I'll burn them out, I don't know. I'm drawing a Wild next turn. I hope they just take Tamiyo and they're just like, that's the most powerful card, and I don't have anything, so I'll take it. But it's more likely they'll take Snapcaster Mage or Lightning Bolt. If they take Cling to Dust, I think they're going to combo us. Alternatively, they could not take Cling to Dust and combo us in other ways, like this could be an Ancient Cellar spawn deck. But I have a feeling it's like, Strix, I was not expecting that. That was kind of the one pick I was probably least expecting, in fact. So they are something of a fair deck. They must be. Only fair decks really care about Strix. Another Cling to Dust. Well, I mean, I can definitely cast them. Alright, you're up. Does not feel good. They're at 12. Packing 6 damage here. They're gonna Thoughtseize again. I think I'm gonna Bolt, but then they'll probably take Snapcaster Mage. Alternatively, that doesn't solve anything, because, like, I don't know. If they take the Bolt, then I can Snap Bolt. No, they take Snapcaster Mage. What if I spiked Bowmasters? I don't. Eye of Ugin. Okay, I was not expecting that one. I mean, they have close to enough mana to activate it, but I don't know if they want to go to 6. I hope they do. I should have played Tamiyo. Mutated Cultist. Sure. Interesting. So this is probably some kind of Dark Depths deck, right? Fell the Profane. Yeah. That reset their ring. So, like, I mean, there's upsides to this. And that costs 2 less to cast thanks to Mutated Cultist. It's pretty good. Alright, let's Cling again. Another Ponder. I could flip Tamiyo. Are we just going to settle into a battle now? With their tons of mana and Ivugan, and they're just not going to activate the One Ring again? I think regardless, if I draw a red card, I'm very punished if I don't just Bolt right now. And this might get them to not use the One Ring, which is what I want. Edict. Alright, sure. Ready for that Merit Lage, I guess. They've Thoughtseized twice. Let's flip this Tamiyo, huh? Well, we can Ponder once first. There might be something better to do. Nope, shuffle that. Huh, okay. Yeah. Play Tamiyo. And then Ponder. Yeah, take Force of Will. Then I'll draw Bowmasters next turn. That happened. Alright, so if they're forced to do something wild like Ivugan for I don't even know what agent. I'm gonna let that go. Had to think for a second, but it's fine. Alright, they are back on their One Ring shit. I suppose I would be too. Another One Ring. What's the point of fighting over this? I don't think I'll be dealing any damage next turn. I feel like this whole game is just rocking under the assumption that I need them to tap those things, I need them to lose life, and mana is just their gate, which is a funny thing to say against a deck with Eye of Ugin and Ancient Doom. Yep, mana's the gate. Alright, they put 2 on Tamiyo. They are not bolting that in. Shame. Can't get at that Lightning Bolt yet. So close. They're at 6. We're like almost there. I mean, we're definitely casting Bowmasters. We're definitely pinging them. And we're definitely forcing this first Fatal Push. Isn't that crazy? Nice. Alright. Now I just need to get at that little lightning bolt. Their mana is kind of impacted. The Ancient Tombs effectively tap for 1 instead of 2. But one of them could tap for 2. Overlord of the Balemerc? Yes, that happens. I see Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger, which is pretty good, but it's not enough. Fascinating game. I think I do want Price of Progress. They seem like they're playing all of the Bolt lands from Modern Horizons. Boggart Bog, Boggart Trawler, Fel the Profane, maybe even Agadim, I'm not sure. But yeah, we didn't see much in the way of basic swamps, if any. We saw like Eye of Hugin, Urborg, Ancient Tomb, the One Ring. I think Price of Progress would actually be pretty good here. Gotta leave and reanimate, because we want to reanimate Ulamog, of course. Or Overlord. Gotta keep all the forces. I think I need Consign to Memory as well, just because they can do some really freaking powerful stuff with Mutated Cultist. That card made a lot of waves when it was spoiled, and it never really found a home, but is undoubtedly incredibly powerful. It's kind of like Metamorphosis Fanatic, another 1 black creature that, wait, no, Mutated Cultist costs 3, yeah. And of course, Fanatic costs 6. I think we'll go without Baragoyf and maybe even Murktide Regent. I think we want From the Catacombs, and I'm not sure about Fatal Push. Doesn't really feel like the right kind of removal. Kling's not that effective either, I don't think. Like, you'll never even be able to trade with an Overlord trigger since the Mill and Resolution happen in 1. It is not a reflexive trigger, similar to Baragoyf. Way better than Baragoyf, though, since you can get a creature that was already in the graveyard. Yeah, I think I'll trim 1 Kling, and then... I think it will be From the Catacombs on the draw. Well, I need something, like, powerful to do. It could be Thoughtseize. I don't want to be the Thoughtseize deck. I want them to be the Thoughtseize deck. I want to be, like, very tempo positive. Yes, this hand is good. One's taking a mulligan. I'll keep. If they Thoughtseize me and take Consign to Memory, we're gonna have to ponder and look for a way to beat a really big creature, I think. We'll see. Or the One Ring, I don't know. Consign does counter the One Ring, which is like a way to power up any deck, I think. There's a Thoughtseize. Yeah, I'm curious what they will take here. Urborg too. I had a feeling that our black mana would be complementary. Let's take Ponder. I was only going to look for lands with that, so, you know, whatever. I should play around Opposition Agent. But my frickin' Volcanic Island is in my hand, which is very annoying. I'm just going to get the other basic island. If I really want to play around Opposition Agent, I'd Island Psycholorian revealed right then and there too, but it doesn't really seem necessary. Dalthy Voidwalker, that card's scary. Kling, your Thoughtseize. There's From the Catacombs, okay, cool. If they Thoughtseize me, maybe they won't find a target for that. Bowmasters. Alright, that enables Kaito. Gotta be a little careful with Kaito around Voidwalker, though. Alright, they are attacking with Voidwalker, so at the very least, I don't have to worry about an opposing Kaito. Another Voidwalker. Well, now I can't get Kaito out of range of them. How do I do this? I need a removal spell. Maybe I can distract them with Kaito? I think I could beat an opposing Kaito with them at 3 cards. Brainstorm. I think I'd rather look for a removal spell. There we go. Alright, put back From the Catacombs. Or I'll just put back Kaito. Yeah. Bolt one of them. Like, if they Thoughtseize me, take From the Catacombs and cast it, targeting Voidwalker, I don't think it's that big of a deal. They're also not doing anything. Like, what's in their hand? What are you doing? Could be Bowmasters, I guess. I'm gonna take my Bowmasters back. No, they seem like they're F6'd. Let's just tap that down. No funny business, okay? They can drop Ancient Tomb and throw a One Ring in here, but I don't think it'll happen in time. Ooh, they get to take their stun counters off their Dauthi Voidwalker. But they did not do that. Instead, they completely flipped this game on its head. I should have drawn a card. I should have found a land, and held up Consign. That was some straight fuck. I guess I could just do it again. Do you think they'll block? I'm having deja vu. Didn't I do this exact thing against another 1-3 earlier? What other 1-3s in the format? Oh, Curie. That's so funny. Okay, here we go. This might not be smart. I feel like it might be better to... Oh shit, of course it's not smart. They have protection from everything. Jesus Christ. I'm getting distracted. Glad that Voidwalker is tapped though. I really am. I don't think they have another Cultist either, because I think they would have slammed that into Kaito. Oh, they do have basics. Alright. Back up One Ring, you got it. Drawing. 5 cards in hand. Cultist hits Kaito. I'll take a land. Let's brainstorm first. If I hit Bolt, red land, I might have lethal. Thoughtseize that I can't cast. Maybe I should put the dangerous cards on top just in case. Go like this. Just in case there's a huge emergency and I need to shuffle. I'll play Bloodstained Mire. But no, I'll probably tap that for black as soon as they like activate the One Ring. And I'll just tap down Dauthi Voidwalker again. Yeah, definitely don't want to bounce Mutated Cultist, even though I have Consigned to Memory. I don't have limitless mana. There's no point to attack. Cultist hidden for 1. I wonder actually, should I just hold up Consign? Overlord. Yeah, sure. Taking the Cultist. They know I have Consign. Do they do it anyways? Targeting Overlord of the Baelmerk. That is a significantly cheaper spell. I think I ought to counter both of these. I hope they don't have another one. That's 3 accounted for. It'd be crazy if they had all 4. It'd be crazy if they ran 4, right? Well, maybe it wouldn't be that crazy. Well, okay, here we go. Replicate once. Seems to be working okay. They're gonna draw now that Bowmasters is not castable. Hopefully they can't do too much with 2 mana. If they hit the 3rd Cultist, I don't know. I don't know what to tell y'all. They have another Overlord. But yeah, that will not do it. Nice. We're 3-0. This is going very well. Welcome back for round number 4. Yeah, it's a good hand. We'll see what we end up doing with this Lorien revealed. It's pretty rare when you have a 3-land hand that you also need to use Lorien revealed to make a land drop. But I mean, we'll see what happens. I like Tamiyo. Doing that on the play is pretty sweet. That's a Tundra. They did not play Nomads on Core, so I don't have to worry about losing next turn. But also, maybe it's not wise to play this Tamiyo. Just fly straight into Swords to Plowshares. Especially if I draw Brainstorm, like, I could probably stand to maneuver this a little better. Prismatic Vista is interesting. What deck is this? Let's surveil Kolaghan's Command. If it's Dreadnought, that's cool. If it's Jeskai Control, I guess, that's also cool. there's probably some incentive to like counter one of my spells at some point. I also wonder if they have back to basics in this deck. They might. Let's do a little test here. Not resolved. Okay. Bowmasters gets it with swords. I suppose that means I can try Tameo now. If you think that's wise, I'm going to attack. Oh, I should have played a land. Then they might have actually swords this army as well, due to threat of Kaito. Did not work out that way. I just messed up. I'm going to hold Tameo. Am I? Jeez, I don't know. I don't think so. That was met with a brief pause, and there was no end-step swords to plowshares either. Scalding Tarn. Activating Vista. Plains. Thundertrap Trainer. This is likely Jeskai Wizards, right? I would like to see this miss. But it seems like they have a decision to make here. But fortunately, I don't think it's swords. I think if it's swords, they would just snap that off. 4th Aerlingus. Alright. That card's a problem. Kaito. That's a good one. Well, okay. Here we go. Clue acquired. Tameo rehired to my hand. Do they have dress down? Weird pause here. Seems like maybe yeah. Yeah. Could counter this, but doesn't really seem like it's worth it. But it is a pretty powerful way to stay neutral on that. Do I just play Tameo again? I'm thinking no. Well, you know, it's a good blocker against 4th Aerlingus. So I will play it. But hopefully that card just, you know, doesn't resolve. That would be the main goal here. But I'm on board in a major way. Yep. That is acceptable, I guess. Thundertrap, hitting Kaito for 1. No block. And they're passing to me. Well, okay. I'll take a land drop, sure. I will smash for 4. And hopefully find a Thoughtseize or some significant backup. Sure, let's ponder. Barrogoyf. That one's pretty good too. They've already used 2 swords to plowshares. I think Bolt is more necessary in the short term. Nothing to reanimate. I could have bolted Thundertrap and then reanimated. I also feel like I'm missing, or I'm not giving myself the right opportunity to get lethal here. But I'll definitely try to counter that. They'll force back. Pitching Spell Pierce. Sure. Alright. How are they going to divide this damage, though? That's the next question. And are they going to let me take the initiative back? I mean the monarchy? Or in the first place? 2 knights attacking Kaito. Thundertrap Trainer attacking me. I think I do want the monarchy to be part of this game. So I don't think I'm going to destroy Thundertrap Trainer. Let's see if this works first. You discard, deal 2 this knight. So I'm just keeping Kaito now. It goes to 1. I could bolt Thundertrap Trainer, or I could drop Barrogoyf. You know what I should have done? I'm so silly. Oh wait, no, that was not the Kaito activation, that was a ponder. But I was like, I could have surveilled Barrogoyf in the graveyard and cast Reanimate on it. Yeah, I think I'll let these through. They'll draw a card, but it won't matter. I don't think they have a counterspell, right? I think I can just plus and then bolt them. I think I'll do that. I might as well wait to see if I draw back up. Well, I don't even have a blue card in hand, whatever. Just bolt. Sweet. Jeskai Wizards. 4th Aerlingus is their scariest card against us. But even then, if they aren't making a lot of land drops to really pay it out, it's not that scary. But if they are making a lot of land drops, that means they don't have other scary cards. There's the balance to everything. And the fact that this is a Jeskai Control deck, that validates our lightning bolts in a not super scary way, like say Stoneforge Mystic. It's mostly a good thing. But, you know, Tameo is also very strong. It also means it's a Jeskai control deck I can bring in from the Catacombs against and not feel silly. Badlands out. I need another cut. Not reanimate. Their creatures are like hella good. It could be Cling to Dust. It's kind of a underwhelming card. It's very good for grinding though, and that is something we definitely want to do. It could be a Force of Will, but I don't know. We leverage Force of Will really well in this matchup because we're already getting a lot of free 2-for-1s at their discretion, honestly, or admittedly, via cards like Bowmasters and Baleful Strix. They can choose how they want to 2-for-1 themselves off of it, but they're still 2-for-1ing themselves, so it's not often the worst feeling to force against this deck. I don't know. It could be Bolt, but I'm not bringing in Fatal Push. I don't want to. Could also be Kolaghan's Command. Kind of invalidate any Hydroblasts they try to fight me with. Yeah, that actually seems pretty good. Because they'll probably be exiling my creatures. It's their creatures I'm going to be reanimating. Like my Thunder Chap. Yep, this hand is great. Opponent's taking a mulligan. I will keep. The last thing I need to look out for is, are they playing Wasteland? Some versions that try to tempo a little bit more play Wasteland, but a lot of them do not. Another Ponder off the bat. I thought they were going to mulligan to a Tameo start, because that is probably the best way to stay in this from a grind perspective. Just catch me unable to answer a turn 1 Tameo, and it should go pretty well for them. But ideally, we do not give them that opportunity. Good draw. Alright. Thoughtseize you. Take Flame Vanor. Even though Prismatic Ending is somewhat relevant, it would not be a good trade for Narset. But it would still take care of that potent lock piece. Alright, now I do need a land. My hand's getting a little top heavy. Mountain go. Alright. Cling your Flame of Anor. Bolt. Okay. Shoot, that's not good. We are stymied. Well, it does happen sometimes. That's scary. They're not doing much, so we do have time to do stuff here. And I gotta spend my mana. A lot of you might be cringing at this, but I think this is the right play. Land? Shit. Well, this is better than going to discard, but it's not great. And yeah, I mean, it's not the best trade Snapcaster can get, but it's something. They have a play. I'd feel a lot better if I had Force of Will. Ponder's fine. Ponder will shuffle. Yeah, I have a feeling they're like looking for action right now. I would really like a land, please. I don't ask for much. There we go. I think I just play Narset here. Or is that bad? It might run right into like Red Blast, I guess. We'll see if Kolaghan's Command baits anything out on the end step. It took us a minute to hit land number 3, but we got there. Tameo. Yep. Alright. Activate that. Get Underground Sea, I think. I don't want them to have Lightning Bolt. I think I can outcard Tameo. So why don't I try to get Kaito in? And if that fails, I could Narset. God, I really want to cast that. I really do. But I can't. Alright, do that. I think they have Dress Down again. Yep, that's fine. This would have been a great time to address Tameo. They didn't have a Source of Plowshares either, which is very fortunate. They might have 4th Aerolingus here, though, which would be bad. Nope, never mind. They're going to combat. That's a relief. They get a clue token. Draw a card. Yep. I don't think they'll have like a random 4th color for Prismatic Ending reasons. but they probably have a red blast. But doesn't seem like it's in their hand right now. Ooh, that's good. Shit. Are they going to flip Tameo? Or just go up? Yeah, they're going to flip Tameo. Minus on nothing. And they only generated a lot of cards. See if I can punch through this. It makes sense to like attack one of these with Kaito, but I didn't hit a land, so kind of just need to attack them here. I don't love it. Deck is not being forthcoming with the lands. I think Thoughtseize above all else. This happens first. Force of Will. Wow, okay. So they have fourth Aer Lingus is what they're saying. Activate Kaito. Maybe I did this in the entire wrong order. There's no land here. Trash them both. Christ. Alright. I guess I'm playing Bowmasters now. Take out Teferi. Make them live in fear of Force of Will, but I think they're still going to fourth. Might not be the worst thing. Yep. Brainstorm, you got it. I think we're safe for another turn. And I pray to God I draw a land. Oh, that would be great. 2 cards over there. Flame of Anor. Draw 2 cards. Yeah, makes sense. Gotta catch up. They're at 10. There's a land. Beautiful. Alright. Yeah, let's draw a card, first of all. Attack them. They're at 8. Bolt, Bolt, Kolaghan's Command will finish the job. So I'll go top, top. If I make them have to deal with that first, that's pretty good, right? And I think Narset's pretty distracting. I think they'll like force Narset even. They did not. Alright. Take Brainstorm. And then I guess I'll just bolt them. So I don't have to go to discard. Kind of gives away the plan just a little bit. Thundertrap Trainer. My Thundertrap Pyroblast. Yikes. What do they go after though? Narset? Doesn't really solve all their problems. Kaito, yeah. That makes more sense to me. Do they get Pyroblast back with Tameo? Yep. Very powerful. Ponder. 1 card left. 2 after this Ponder resolves. They don't shuffle. They have Tameo. Bowmasters. Pretty good. Let's see if I can knock the last card out. It was a land. This should do it. Nice. Oh, it's happening again. It's happening again. All right, trophy match coming up. Let's do this. Well, here we go. On the play. With a perfectly defensible hand. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna play Island first. If I have to like emergency brainstorm or something, I don't know. Tropical Island Tameo. Well, not really ready for that one. Cast Brainstorm. Well, I guess I'm ready for that one. I think I'm cool shuffling away Kolaghan's Command. And then that would have been nice to hit Force of Will in here. I think we'll make do. Am I going to play her on Wasteland? This is probably Breakfast, right? Does that mean I should keep Kolaghan's Command and shuffle away Brazen Barber or Brainstorm? I just don't know if having expensive spells is going to pay off. In fact, I'm almost certain it's going to not pay off. I think it's going to jam things up. We're bolting right now, and I think I'm not playing around Wasteland. Success. For now. Brainstorm. Resolves. I feel like whenever I get Kaito in against Breakfast, it never goes well. I feel like they turn around and win after that. I think I'm going to brainstorm at the end of turn, kind of no matter what. If I can hit another bolt and have Bowmaster's Bolt, I'd feel a little more safe, assuming this is Nadu Breakfast. There's not a lot of decks that play Tropical Island and Tameo. Or maybe there are, I don't really know. There could be. There could be plenty of decks that do that. Alright, cast Brainstorm. Just using the mana wherever I can. Force of Will is great. Shielder's Edict is honestly great too. I wish it was smart to play Strix, but I think it's smarter to maybe pitch that to Force. We'll see. It's also frickin' crazy that they didn't shuffle their Brainstorm. Alright, cast Bowmasters here. They're gonna Brainstorm. And we're in there. Alright, let's put in Kaito. And bluff, bluff, bluff. Yeah, we'll go top, top. I wish it was a different land, but at least we're not losing to days anymore. That part is pretty good. And they're binning a Brainstorm, that's interesting. I wonder if that means their mana is spoken for. I feel like I need more black mana. Cavern of Souls. Wizard. No surprise there. Nomad's Encore. Well, I guess I have to force that, or else I might lose. I sure hope this works. Pithing Needle. Ugh. Naming Kaito. Ah. Not cool. I guess I don't need to put up with a construct token any longer. I'm still clocking. But yeah, it does not feel great. I almost even want to bounce it. This was supposed to be my card advantage engine. Best case scenario here, they like make a construct. That would be fantastic. No. They know I have Bowmasters. I only have one really hard removal spell too. Do we think they have Daze? Because I guess the play would be bounce Shuko right now. And then when they cast it again, I could Edict. But it seems like they have Daze. So they're gonna get a Nadu trigger. Crap. That's so good. Oh boy. Back up Nadu. Plains. Cephalid Illusionist. Now do I bounce Shuko? I could lose. They have two unknowns. Do we really think there's a Daze in there? I don't know. I just don't know. I think we gotta give them another trigger. I hate to say it. Bouncing Shuko just seems terrible. Soul Guide Lantern. Maybe they'll want to cast that. Oh no, Narcomoeba? You're kidding me. This is terrible. That's two more cards. Tropical Island. Yet another creature. I guess I'll make an attempt on Illusionist now. Looks like it's not really going to work out any other way. Days confirmed. Alright, Illusionist down. Thassa's Oracle exposed. And now I guess I should bounce Nadu, huh? If they have another Illusionist, it's just like, you know, whatever. They did have Days. Okay. That makes sense. Now they have Force of Will. That's not good. And Memory's Journey. They probably don't want that in their hand. Soul Guide Lantern. Hope they activate it. Taking my Bolt. They do not. Alright. What do I do? Exiling my graveyard? Sure. Jeez. I don't think we'll survive. It's a little rough. Swing out. That Pithing Needle might have been the difference. I might have had one extra resource here to stop them from going off last turn. Blocking like that is quite acceptable, I think. I just wish I had another black source. It's such a heartbreaker. It just is not adding up. More forces and Illusionist. That should be the game. Nomads. Illusionist, Tameo. At the very least, we're going to look at this deck. And if there's something rough like Dread Return stuck in their hand, yeah, we'll see how this goes. Hedge Maze. That Thassa's Oracle's right there too. I definitely needed more black mana this game. I had this weird feeling I needed to get bad lands, but at the time I had Brazen Borrower in my hand, so Volcanic Island made a little more sense. But I should have gotten the bad lands. That's so crazy. Now they're passing to combat. Attacking me? Passing. Yeah, Dread Return must be stuck in their hand, I'm thinking. Nothing else really makes sense. That'll get a Force of Will. Pitching Ponder. So their hand is Forced Journey Nadu. There's my black source. I hope it's not too late. I think we'll start by edicting. Dropping the Illusionist. Alrighty. I feel like that was their out to win quickly. Block, block. Sure. Dread Return is now in their hand. Oh, they just didn't go for it last turn. That's wild. Okay. Another Nomads. And now they're attacking Kaito. So they think there's going to be another turn. Yep. Now they're going to pass. Sure. Are they going to force these Bowmasters? Negative. Alright, we got them to 5. It's ridiculously close, but I just don't think we're going to make it. Gotta hold that to bluff. These Urza Saga tokens are going to do it, I think. But they didn't make one at the end of the last turn. It's interesting. I mean, they can flip the rest of their deck, put Oracle on top with Memory's Journey, and cast it uncounterably. And they have Force of Will. Seems pretty straightforward to me. Maybe I'm missing something? They're still attacking. Alright, cast Ponder, I guess. Shuffle that. Snapcaster Mage. Alright. Reanimate. There's no Nadu in the graveyard somehow. It's pretty wild. There are Bowmasters, though. I mean, they'd probably interact with that. But if they didn't, I could ping them again. I'm going to show them Reanimate. Maybe they'll side in a weird way. You never know. Block that Construct. Playing Tameo. Playing Nomads. Alright, cast Snapcaster Mage. Target Edict. Cast Edict. Oh, I could have got them to sack the Construct, but it's not really the issue here. Damn. Alright, if they attack with Nadu, they will win. Maybe I should have been targeting their creatures, but I mean, they do have Memory's Journey. Didn't really seem like the right thing to do. We almost got to see their whole deck. And yeah, it's just barely slid out of control. I think it was that Pithing Needle. I think if I was able to find a second black off Kaito, things might have been a little different. So we'll take all the creature removal. I like Surgical against this deck too, since, as you saw there, like Nadu is the beginning and end of everything. Oh, sorry about taking it slow. Didn't want to lose to Obstructionist. Yeah, that's super fair. Thank you so much. Well played. Alright. I usually side out a mountain, but like I said a little earlier in the video, now that Prismatic Vista is like the land, I think it's gotta be Badlands, right? Well, I know Baragoyf and Murktide for sure. They're not good against Swords to Plowshares. Don't hate Meltdown. Maybe like 1. And yeah, they were playing around Obstructionist, so that means, yeah, it was important for me to bluff to some extent and keep at least 1 card in my hand. Otherwise, if I go Hellbent, they see I don't have Obstructionist, they just jam the win. So that's kind of cool. Cut Force of Will, maybe 2 forces on the play. Although Nadu kind of changes things, doesn't it? Gee, how do I usually side? I guess Narset's not amazing. What am I doing? Could be 1 bolt, I guess. We have a lot of creature removal. And yeah, I usually side more down on force. I'm going to side out 1 Kaito here. just because winning ourselves is not as important as stopping them from winning. Yeah, I like this hand. Opponent's also good on 7. Let's see what I can find. Tameo. Yeah. I guess I'll play around days too. Just Surveil right now. Yeah, I'll keep a land. Am I holding up Red Blast or Brainstorm? I think Brainstorm. Cast Fatal Push. And pass it back. Brainstorm. Resolves. No shuffle. Shuko. Quite threatening. With 5 cards in hand. I think I'll definitely Brainstorm here. If they daze, I think that's good. But I don't really expect them to daze. Alright. I'll redraw one of those lands. Yeah, I don't think I should play Strix here. As badly as I want to. I think it's a little dangerous. I like to dodge like Cavern of Souls. Ponder is a-okay. Quite a relief even. Ponder will shuffle. Another Ponder. Resolves. This one does not. Did they find a land? They did. Well, I don't want to look at the basic mountain again, so I'm going to Brainstorm again. And I'm going to do it after shuffling. Yikes. That's awful. God damn. That's a heartbreaker. We might have just lost. I think I screwed up. I think I screwed up really bad. Should have just Brainstormed. I didn't think it was possible to hit 3 lands. It's very silly of me. And now I just don't have enough action to keep up, I don't think. Veil Summer. They don't draw, but their Tameo resolves. So, sure. Ooh, they could play a land now and win, I guess. Didn't think about that. If they have an Illusionist. They have Caracas, which is just as annoying. Now I have no choice really but to play Strix. Kolaghan's Command. It's not bad. Play Strix. Hopefully hit a blue card. Damn it. Yep. Not looking good. Felt pretty bad once I felt that Brainstorm just... I think I did something wrong, but I'm not sure. Betting Carpet of Flowers. They can still get their clues here. If they just use Caracas after blocks. God, that's good. How am I going to beat this? It feels almost impossible. Alright. You discard, destroy Shuko. Daze. Terrible. Force of Will. Well, send it back. There's the archive back. Put a card on top. Sometimes you get got by days on the play. It's not super often, but it definitely worked that time. Oh, try and force. Can't let this go on forever. But they could also just, like, you know, combo right now. They'd have to shuffle away the card they put on top to cast something like Illusionist, but, you know, then they'd win. They're gonna Brainstorm. I've been ground out. I don't know what can catch me up here, but I basically can't fail any more top decks, which is like a very scary spot to be and feels very unlikely. Ponder does not shuffle. Oh boy. Yeah. That's too bad. I can't get over that Brainstorm. It does happen sometimes, just not super often. Nomads. Sure. Saga. Sure. Illusionist. Gotta counter that one. Nice. Well, that'll do it. All I can do is bluff. And I guess to complete the bluff I should fetch now that the Oracle is exposed. So I'm ready. I got 1 card left. What is it? If it's Flusterstorm, they probably don't have any fears here. That's all the Nadu's accounted for. Yeah, I don't know why they would stop here. Am I gonna do it? Yep. All right. Well, it's kind of a relief that the streak is over. I feel like if it kept going for much longer, I wouldn't be allowed to like win at Eternal Weekend. But I'm a little disappointed at how poorly that match went. But, you know, that's a big part of Magic. Hopefully there are no matches like that at Eternal Weekend, but you're not always in control of these things. Yeah, it's all good. Super happy with the deck. And yeah, just not enough data to say whether or not Prismatic Vista is right or not, but if the science says it is, I guess it must be, right? All right. I'll catch y'all next time. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great night.